If you wear these things, I guarantee you'll be stylish in the gym. Starting with our tops, there are going to be two kinds of tops I'm going to recommend. You're either going to want to wear a compression tee or a kind of baggier, more relaxed vintage t-shirt. I think which one you wear also depends on the kind of physique that you have. Compression tees I'd definitely recommend for someone who's probably been in the gym a bit longer and someone on the leaner side. These also work very well as an undergarment, but these also potentially work very well as an underlayer if you're wearing a t-shirt on top of them. As for the kind of more like relaxed tees, I think plain ones are fine. Vintage ones also are always a good bet. Generally, I'm not the biggest proponent for graphic tees. I think this is definitely a situation where you can get away with it. And again, these can always be layered on top of a compression tee to give not only a more stylish look, but also something more versatile. For when you've been in the gym longer and you're getting warmer, it gives you layers to take off. As far as colours go, stick with neutrals. Don't go for anything too out there. Lastly, I'm going to recommend you stay away from a lot of these kind of moisture wicking athletic t-shirts made of that kind of like plasticky material. A lot of the time this material not only sits poorly on you, but also tends to smell over time. Next up for bottoms, we're going to split them into two categories, either tracksuits or shorts. There's only really one style of tracksuit I'd currently recommend, and that would be a baggy straight leg tracksuit. These are very in at the moment, and also can be particularly good if you lack a certain level of leg development, as these can help kind of compensate for that. I'd also recommend you try and stay away if you can from those tapered tracksuits where they're wider at the top and they go narrower at the bottom. There's nothing inherently wrong with them, it's just a bit of an outdated look at the moment. Next up for shorts, there's going to be two kind of variations that I'd really recommend you go with. First of all, I think a really baggy short can look good on everyone, it just depends how you style it. So by this I mean something about knee length or longer, and sufficiently baggy to achieve that look. If it's kind of sitting straight on your leg, that's not the look that we're going for. A lot of the time you'll see this look more with basketball shorts, but I think as long as you style these pieces right, they can look really good. The next short I'd recommend, only if you've got a bit more developed legs, are gym shorts or kind of like shorter shorts. Obviously we're not talking about anything too criminally high, but we do want something maybe that shows off a bit more of your leg development. The shortest I'd personally recommend you go is a 5-inch inseam, and these can be really good a bit more adventurous if you want to show off your leg development but still look stylish in the gym. Next up, shoes. This is a big topic, especially depending on what kind of activities you're doing in the gym. This is going to really vary from person to person. Starting with, if you're a bit more of an athletic person, you'd like to do more running, then obviously you're going to want to optimize your shoes for your chosen activity. I know they have a lot of running specific shoe stores, so they can help you fit the shoe exactly for your feet, which will in turn help increase your athletic performance. Because we'd never want our gym style to impair its functionality. The biggest thing with these shoes is that they tend to have really bad colorways. So you're going to want to look around. I think the neutral colorways with these are the best, otherwise you're going to end up with some sort of highlighted yellow trainer. Now if you're also lifting, you're going to want a different kind of shoe. For lifting, we're going to want a very flat soled shoe. The flatter the better, generally speaking, as this provides more stability when performing these lifts. Again, just don't go for anything too out there in the color. But you can really be a bit more experimental with these gym shoes. I know Converse are particularly popular, and they're much more of a kind of timeless piece. These flatter, kind of more slim-soled shoes are very in at the moment, so you can take advantage of that if you are lifting. Lastly, if you're concerned about that force transfer to the ground, then I'd recommend just taking off your shoes, as much as this might be unhygienic and less than optimal. If you only want to invest in one pair of running shoes and this happen to be athletic, then this is your best option and prevents injuries the most. Next up, hats. Hats can actually be a really good piece to add to your gym rotation, and they also save you the effort of having to do your hair every day. I think you're going to either want to go with a cap or a beanie. Caps obviously work better when you're in warmer climates, or if you're doing any sort of outdoor work. You can be a bit more experimental here with the caps. Just stay true to your personal style, and kind of go with a style that suits you. For instance, if you're going for a bit more of that like American kind of athleisure style, going for like an unfitted cap might be a better bet. But if you're looking for something a bit more kind of sporty, then a more fitted cap might be more up your alley. Beanies again are an excellent option. A lot of these kind of stylized Y2K beanies have been very in recently, so they're definitely something I'd recommend. And you'd be surprised that you can actually kind of keep these on your whole session without getting too hot. They're a lovely accessory to kind of just elevate your style. Next up, jumpers. Jumpers play such an important role, typically the pump cover in the gym, and these will be something you're wearing quite a lot, so you want to make sure you invest in good, stylish jumpers. Either hoodies or crewneck sweatshirts as a way to go for your jumpers. Generally, an oversized fit tends to be favoured in these kind of gym communities because it makes it seem like you're bigger, and so these are always a very, very good bet. This is something where I'd recommend you shop around and kind of find what works for you. And also, if you're wearing a graphic tee, maybe complement that with a plainer hoodie and vice versa, so you can have a more graphic hoodie if you're wearing a plain t-shirt. Next up, socks. These really don't matter much. I think as long as you're wearing clean socks is the main thing. Brand doesn't matter too much, as long as you match them with your shoe. I know ankle socks very much aren't in, so generally for most gym situations I'd recommend more of a trainer sock. Lastly, for accessories, this could be a whole other video on its own, but we're going to focus specifically on bags. Bags are such an important part of what you take to the gym, so they not only need to be functional, but they also need to be stylish. If you're a bit more mature, you can get away with like a larger kind of leather duffel bag. These tend to be quite functional and can very easily fit all of your gym stuff in there, and also have the advantage of looking good and you being able to add your own element of personal style to that. If not, then always a standard duffel or a standard backpack always work really well. Just try and add a bit of your own kind of character to them, and it really goes a long way in adding an element of personal style to your accessories. Hopefully this video has helped you kind of elevate your gym outfits, and on that note, I'd like to thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed, and goodbye.